Next stage, a man looking for trouble. What can you see beyond the darkness?
When you look beyond the darkness, tell me, what do you see? It's your boy T-I-N-Y to the P. Yeah, he's looking for trouble here on twitch.tv with Crash or Jade or Spyro or Leon Kennedy. Is there a new game to start? Is he doing some art? Maybe knowledge of an 80s children's show to impart? Cause he's pentiferous, vigorous, rigorous. He's damn vociferous. When arting or Mario Karting, he's straight carnivorous. Tiny Peter. Tiny Peter.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
With a great rate of save states debating his fate, Peter's greeted by emotes of cheaters when people donate. Give him a or a and we'll build up the hype, and I'll struggle to read half the words that you type. So are you ready to go? Come on, what will it be? Are we gaming or painting or watching dated kids TV? Grab a bite, crack a sprite, dim the lights, sit tight, cause the stream's about to start and the mics sound right, boy. Tiny Peter. Tiny Peter.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Boy.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. It sound right, boy.
That was weird, wasn't it? Boy restarted halfway through. I didn't do anything. I just did it. I was just watching it. I was like, what? Why did it do that? Hello, welcome to a live stream. It's me, Tiny Peter. Welcome. We're going to play some Crash Bandersnatch today, and we're going to have a wonderful time. Welcome, one and all. I hope you're all having a wonderful Monday. One day. Wonderful. Yes? Yes. Who's in the chat? Who have we got? We have got Look, Brotovich, Trying Badger. I've noticed most other people say Brotovic.
Yeah.
Hello Peter. How are you? Did you have a good weekend? Excited for the stream today. This was the first Crash Bandicoot I ever played.
Oh.
I didn't mind it back in the day, but now I realize that it wasn't that good. Interested in hearing your thoughts on it. Hope you are having a wonderful day.
Yeah, a lot of people say Brotovic, or Brotovic, and I say Vich, as though it's a sort of Eastern European, because that's how, you know, they would say it in certain countries, right? VIC. What do you say, Nicholas? Tell me what the definitive pronunciation is. We've got Trial and Badger, Stephen Scotus, Mr. Black. All our mods are here. Alien Sweat Hands. Odie Larzus. Zach Talica, beg your pardon, Zach Talica. It's stylized. Brick Cup of Tea. Justin Wiedman or Weidman. The jury's still out. Batman Fan Drew. Zoe C. Bennett. Farwall. Hello, everybody. Oh, I've got a nice look at this nice mug. Look, it was a gift for Amy, not from me, from one of her other husbands. I don't know if I can't
I'm
remember.
really sorry TP, but I have to get this off my chest following the latest podcast. You'll never see it coming amongst the best video game music. It's not even the best piece of music in Persona 5. Takeover was right there. I am furious.
Tried to run me,
Apart from
Drew.
that,
Hold
great job.
on.
Really appreciate you and all you do. Much love.
Never See It Coming is not... I agree, it's not the best piece of either Persona music or even Persona 5 music. It's just sort of... It's like a mini... It's like a meme or like an in-joke amongst kind of me and Ben and sort of Amy as well, played a lot of Persona 5. And you just have to listen to that song over and over again. And so because of that, we say, great song, huh? But don't worry, I'm sort of with you, really. Yeah. Lucas, first time chat. Welcome to the chat and welcome to the community. If you're a new person, maybe you're just not a new person, but you're chatting for the first time. Welcome in. Thank you, Odie Lazarus, by the way, for the 100 bits. And Lorbrota Vic or Vitch says, I guess if you want to be right about it, it should be the Eastern pronunciation, but I really do not mind either way. Shrug, Pumuckle. Okay, well that's good to know that there's no canon pronunciation. Actually, the song is called Last Surprise. No, that's true. It is. Yeah. Be your last surprise. You're right, Stephen. Trillion Jones. I like how you've used the Peter Nerd emote for in an appropriate context. It's not often that emote gets to be used in that actual sense. In the actual, you've actually used it correctly. So that's good to see. Trillion Jones has subscribed via Prime. Watch your TP. Happy Monday, all. 41 months. Goodness me. Thank you very much for being with us all that time. And Stephen Scotus has gifted a sub to Lucas, the person who just chatted. The system works. Taking Stephen up to 873 gifts to the community. Many people pronounce it Brotovic. I, however, pronounce it Brotovic. Or indeed, Brotovich. Wonderful. So today, we're going to be playing, in fact, Stephen, thank you for your bits, I forgot to say. We're going to be playing Crash Bandicoot Wrath of Cortex today, or Wrath of Cortex. So this is a game I have played before, some time ago. My best friend at primary school had this game, and I had played the first. Certainly, I owned the Crash 1 and 3, and I'd played a bit of Crash 2. Crash 1 and 3 I'd played to death, and really loved them. And then when I finally sat down at his house, and he was like, "There's a PS2 Crash game, next gen Crash. It's exciting. It's great. We're gonna have a great time." I was like, "Holy crap! Here we go!" And all I really remember is that it had really, really long loading screens, and some stuff hasn't really translated particularly well into the kind of the lighting and shading that you get with a PS2 that you didn't typically get so much with a PS1. So it all kind of looks a bit weird. Plays very strangely as well. It's quite floaty. I've had a little test earlier this afternoon, and I'm like, oh yeah, it sort of feels like you're in sort of, I don't know. It's weird. It's all floaty and strange, like half gravity. It's like you're on the moon. Let's play the game, shall we? Should we play the game? Try to run me through. Hold on. What just happened? I don't really remember most of the words. You'd think I would, given how many times I had to listen to it over and over again. But no, I don't. So if I boot the game, and then we go over here. This blue background is actually animated now. This one isn't, as you can see, but we have an animated version of it, like a scrolling one, which you will have seen in the joint stream. But I was just going to drop it in there and add it to my scene. But when I sat down, I suddenly realised, oh, hang on, my scene is like, that's not how it works as such. It's been done a bit differently as well. Also, hang on, what's going on here? Why is this? Which one is it? It's got the R hashtag. There's all sorts going on here.
A Universal Interactive Studios production.
Yeah, see, that is not where it should be.
Developed by Traveller's Tales.
Traveller's Tales?
Crash Bandicoot, the Wrath of Cortex.
That's where it should be. That was the 3D Traveller's Tales logo floating through space at the beginning, just like the start of Haven Call of the King. In fact, that explains a lot, because this game, I remember, has a bit where you're in a ball and you're like rolling around, and there was a lot of that in Haven. So, yeah. Oh look, it's got a lot of room there. I can put Tiny Peter if I want to. I'll have to do underscore. Oh no, I don't have room for Tiny Peter. I could be Tiny Pete, or I'll just put Peter then. Never mind. there's that loading screen. Get flipping used to it. Bewip McFortune Cookie subscribed via Prime for 3 months. Ahoy hoy.
Imbeciles! Fools! Nincompoops! Can't you idiots do anything right?
Oh god, look at
According
entropy.
to this, your track record for spreading evil is pathetic. Ooka ooka, it's not our fault. That wretched Bandicoot is to blame. I will not let anything stand in the way of evil.
The Kruger looks pretty
Especially
good.
not a brainless orange marsupial. Crash must be eliminated.
Uka Uka, need I remind you that Crash always finds a way to defeat
Oh, he doesn't even
us?
have his voice.
Maybe he's
effect.
just too good for us.
Enough excuses! You 5 idiots need to come up with one good plan! Or else...
I'll do, brothers.
How do I get into these situations?
There must be something we can come up with.
Thanks for subscribing by Prime.
Say, Doctor,
46 months.
haven't you been
46 merry
tinkering with
months.
some kind of new secret weapon in your laboratory?
I don't know what you're talking about, Entropy.
Dr. Cortex.
Entropy.
I think he's referring to this super secret weapon you've been laboring over day and night since the last time Crash defeated you.
Enough bickering! Do we have a plan? Well, in my scientific endeavors, I've been able to create a genetically advanced superweapon of unbelievable strength. But the power source is the final missing crucial element. Elements. Yes, the elementals. Right, the elementals, that's it. If released, their destructive energy could create
It's pretty
enough
loud.
power to
Oh
bring
yeah,
my
it's
secret
pretty
weapon
loud,
to
isn't it?
life. We'd have a weapon capable of crushing mountains.
It's
and
weird. I wonder
crushing entire cities.
how it got so loud.
And wiping Crash Bandicoot off the face of the earth forever.
Is that better? That looks better.
Face my wrath, Crash Bandicoot.
Oh my god.
Crash!
Oh,
Yeah! Crash, you're doing great!
Jesus. Oh no. Why does it all look so weird? Oh, the flipping wobbly volcano.
Oh no.
What's going on? Oh no! Crash! Look out!
Is everyone all right? It appears that my evil twin brother Uka Uka is up to his no-good tricks again. I must find out what he is planning. I'll meet up with you later.
Oh, it's the place from Crash Bash.
You have gotten my attention, Uka Uka. What kind of diabolical scheme do you and Dr. Cortex have planned this time?
No schemes. Just some old familiar faces dropping by for a visit.
No, not the elementals. Uka Uka, why did you release them? Don't you know what happened the last time they were free?
So they were responsible for a few earthquakes, floods, and that little ice age a couple of centuries back. You worry too much, brother.
You cannot restrain them, Uka Uka. They are far too dangerous. This could spell disaster for us all.
On the contrary, Aku Aku.
The mix is not good, is it?
You and the precious planet you care so much about. Destroy him!
You won't get away with this.
Who's going to stop us?
Crash Bandicoot. The Traveler's Tale sticker on the laptop.
Crash, Coco, it is just as I feared. Uka Uka and Dr. Cortex have freed a group of destructive masks known as the Elementals.
I have a lot to say. I have so much to say
Find a way
already.
Stop them before they destroy the Earth. and all of its inhabitants. The only way to stop the elemental's destructive nature is to imprison them with the use of ancient crystals.
Crystals?
Each elemental can be
Oh,
returned
Jesus.
back to their hibernation state with a total of 5 crystals. We must act quickly. Coco, what is the status of the new portal chamber you've been working on?
It's almost finished. A few little adjustments here and there.
Corner on the
Ready to
mantelpiece.
go.
Well done, Coco. This gives us the ideal opportunity to test it. We must hurry.
Oh. Oh, wow. Just the silhouettes. The PNGs. Oh, come on. It's like a fan game. In places, anyway. This looks alright for the era, but... Crash looks okay, actually. I think Crash looks reasonable. Coco doesn't look that good. Aku Aku looks rubbish. Uka Uka looks fine.
Okay, all systems are ready and operational.
It's time we evened up.
Coco
the
looks
odds.
constantly surprised. Right, I can say for sure, and I have not looked this up, but I can say pretty confidently. Oh.
Crash Bandicoot, my old nemesis. How the heck are you? Still gathering crystals? Old habits die hard, don't they? My days are being spent on something much more intriguing. Meet Crunch, my newest creation.
This is the creature who keeps sabotaging your master plan? Ha! You gotta be kidding. I'll exterminate this field rat in no time.
Now, Crunch, your time with Crash will come soon enough. Isn't he brilliant? A testament to my true scientific genius. A real Bandicoot warrior. Unlike you, Crash. Oh well, we all make mistakes. Ta-ta for now.
So his plan to make a Bandicoot warrior has been successful. I can say, without looking it up, pretty confidently that the composer or composers of this game are Andy Blythe and Martin Joustra, or Joustra. I don't know how to say it. I've never said it out loud. Well, I have said it out loud many times, but I've never known how to say it out loud. And the reason I can tell you that is because it's exactly the same set of instruments as in the soundtrack of Haven Call of the King, which was also developed by Traveler's Tales around this time.
Fuzzhead. I'm Rocco, the Earth Elemental. Uka Uka and Dr. Cortex woke me from my captive slumber, and now I'm free to pulverize whatever gets in my way. Oh, don't even think about collecting those crystals, Runt. Because if you do, I'm gonna bury you alive.
You are correct, Pete. Says Forgotten Media 1 for 1. And they also did a lot of, or most, maybe all of the music for Dick and Dom in the Bungalow, would you believe? Strange. Knack says Magnum Infinity. Yeah, it could be. Right, I do remember this level, because as I say, I played this at my friend's house. So we're in. To put these visuals into context, hang on, where did I just saw that message earlier? Oh, there we go. 2001 also saw the release of Halo, Final Fantasy X, and Metal Gear Solid 2. I mean, oops. Okay. I mean, obviously, it kind of they have to be cartoony in style here, but you can do cartoony in a much better way. It is just such a shame, isn't it, that like there was something about this era. He's just so Look at this jumping. It's so weird. It's like the style as well, like, I don't know, you know, these walls are like photorealistic. They've taken like an actual rock texture there, and like the oops, oh, Jesus, I don't know where I'm going or what I'm doing. Hang on, let me sit up so I can see over my microphone for a start. Oh, that's good. That when you break a box and walk through it, you don't pick up any of the fruit, whereas I'm pretty sure in the previous games you would at least get some. It's as well that I died as well. Oh, look at the life icon. It's not great. Like, look at this TNT crate. There's just something about it that these two assets do not match each other at all, I would say. Yeah, some of it looks kind of quite... I won't quite say grungy, but you know, it's got some kind of grit to it. Just sort of looks more realistic, and then some of it is very, I don't know, smooth. It's just like there's sort of inconsistencies between the assets, I would say, between the textures and so on. Right, so I seemingly don't have any of of Crash's abilities to start with. Can I? Can't seem to slide jump either to get any higher, but that's fine. Can I belly flop? Yes, I can. Okay. Oh. Okay, we've got skiers. At least you get 2 fruit per bounce on the bouncy crates. Because having to wait for 10 is a bit much. It doesn't even seem to be that responsive when I try and do a belly flop. Like sometimes I'm pressing circle in the air and he's just not doing it. Sometimes he is. It's very, very strange. Oh, I'm gonna have to get used to that. I couldn't tell you for sure if I didn't have a controller in my hand and I wasn't trying to play. But if you'd asked me like, oh, when you break crates to sort of walk through them as you're going in Crash Bandicoot, do you get the fruit? I wouldn't have necessarily been able to tell you the answer to that. But the fact that my muscle memory is saying yes, you know, it's making me just keep walking. Implies to me that, yeah, that probably... I'm just mashing circle and he's not belly flopping. He did 3 bounces there. Tells me that, yeah, that is a normal Crash Bandicoot mechanic. That you would normally be able to just spin your way through some crates and get the stuff. So, I'm going to have to unlearn some things here. Quite fittingly, or not, in my free time at the moment, I've been replaying Crash Bandicoot 4, the new Crash Bandicoot 4. Once upon a time, this was Crash Bandicoot 4. It's funny the similarities, actually. Oh, he's cold. Oh, this music is it's very Haven. Yeah, some of the similarities, the fact that you've got like a new set of masks introduced, but then in Crash 4 it's about time they're your friends. Oh wow, it's a good loop point on that music, isn't it? Traveller's Tales now, of course, pretty much exclusively making Lego games and doing a good job of it. I don't like that life icon. Look at it. It's awful. I seem to remember. Yeah! That's right. I've played this game before. A bit. So there's a green gem there. Is it worth coming back here to bounce on this one? Oh god, it was cross. But hey, I got my life. It was worth it. So if there's a gem platform there, does that mean I'm not going to be able to get all the crates in this level? That's normally what it means. Oh, crystal. Oh. Goliath has gifted a sub. It's gone to C Plummy, taking Goliath's total up to 658. Crikey. Thank you very much. Oh my god, well, I should not be allowed to do that, but I am, sort of. Can I go down there? No. Oh! Oh wow, it just pops in, does it? Oh, it's like they've ripped the sound effects from like the compressed versions on CD, on disc. They've not like got the source file. Duogalai, thank you for gifting the sub there. If cartoony is your thing, it was also the year of release of Sonic Adventure 2 and Super Smash Bros. Melee. Yeah. Not great. Good, so level 2. Hey, where's my gem? Oh, it was on the left, wasn't it? Because, yeah, there's also, I guess, a coloured gem in that area. Oh, are we flying a plane already?
Crap! The generators shoot them down!
Oh my...
Looks like Neo's using them to make the tornado!
Looks like Neo's using them. When have they ever referred to him as Neo? Is this what I'm shooting down? Yeah, okay. Oh, I've got to hit the boxes as well. Oh, I've just popped a health crate there. Oh, I can roll. Okay, so he's generating tornadoes. Can I go any faster? No, don't do that. Okay, let's get all the crates. I can definitely do all the crates in this level. Just gonna make sure I probably don't blow up the last generator until I've got everything I need, because it might just end the level. Not being funny, but I'm not really taking much damage, am I? I've been flying around, you know, smelling the roses, grabbing the crates, and they're not doing that good of a job bringing me down. 97% health. I better grab some health, am I right, guys? Sorry, I'm being a bit mean about this game. Sort of, some of it's nitpicking, really. Where's that crate gone? Oh, there's more. I have said some of the things look good, though. You know, Crash looks pretty good. For a PS2 Crash Bandicoot model, he looks okay. And I do like the music that these guys normally create. I don't know if it works in a Crash Bandicoot game, though. Oh, that was actually the baddies flying around chasing me. That was Engine there. Interesting. Stephen Wales has subscribed via Prime. Welcome to the Walrus Clan, Steve. Thank you very much for subscribing. Bamboozled. Is this going to be set in a bamboo jungle?
Piece of me, Bandicoot? Huh? Huh? Do ya? Huh? Wuss.
Wuss. Okay. The colour is nice and vibrant, says Praying Ocelot. It is. These loading screens seem better as well. I don't know if it's because of it's an emulator, though. Oh! Okay, this is it. So there was a level like this in, well, multiple levels like this in Haven. And then I think in some other Traveller's Tales game as well. This was a bit of a trend. In the sort of PS2 original Xbox era. I mean, it goes back before that, of course. You've got like Marble Madness and Super Monkey Ball, but I'm all tangled up here. Okay, here we go. Blythe and Justra also did the music for A Bug's Life, which is another fantastic video game soundtrack. You know, it has its flaws, as a game. But a really good soundtrack. I'm going carefully because I want to hit every box. I do like this mechanic in general. I liked it in Haven. I like it here. Just rolling along in the sort of half pipe. It is fun. Trying not to, you know, roll off the edge. Was that a B-Whip I just heard? Yes, Stephen has gifted a sub to Boring Loner. 874 gift subs now. Oh man, the branching paths. I was not ready for this. Okay, we've got some nitros. Oh, got a lot of nitros. I'm assuming this is this is a little offshoot. And then there's a lift going up there, and then there's also this here. Okay, this looks like it might be the way to go, in which case we've got to go back. Heaven is famously a half pipe, let's not forget. That's right, when I'm dead, I'll be able to do this as much as I want, assuming I go to heaven. That's a B-Whip from Groovy Pasty, who just subscribed via Prime for 5 months. Wrath of Cortex, my only memory of this game was an insane difficulty spike with some robot suit. Oh god, really? Oh no. That's the thing, I don't quite know what I'm in for. You know, as the game goes on. Oh, steady now. Careful. Crystal. How many boxes left? Still a fair few. Got some nitros to blow up at the end, of course. Got some there. I'll hit the checkpoint first. Bloom. Careful. Easy does it. Oh, there's nothing down here. Oh, that's so... Oh, hang on. No. There could be something down here. That seemed very cheeky. Oh, there's still... What is this buzzing? Oh, it's the end. Oh, right, okay. Weird. Oh no. Oh, fortunately I had a... Looks like I had a mask, even though you can't see him. They didn't add a mask follows ball mechanic into this game. Careful now. Oh, okay. Set those off. 1, 2, 5. So, where's the gem? There it is. What a horrible noise that portal makes. Disgusting. Sounds like a beehive. Jordan Goodrich 91. I'm a few weeks late, but I want to say keep up the good work, and your new Worst Games Ever was brilliant yesterday. Thank you very much, Jordan, for 3 months. By Prime, and for your kind words. Wizards and Lizards. I seem to remember enjoying this level when I was a kid. Oh, it's a good soundtrack already. Can I just spin this man? Oh, can I get him to be hit by the wizard? No. I have to skid him. Okay. Okay, here we go. 42 months from Tired Author Danny. Happy 42 months. Loving the new colours, and the After Dark was a great episode. Hope all is well in the Walrus Clan. Thank you, Tired Author Danny. Thank you for supporting us on Patreon at the tier that allows you access to After Dark. For those of you who don't know, we do a fortnightly bonus video podcast. It's about 40 minutes long-ish, where we just take non-video gaming questions, whatever you like, questions from patrons. Oh no. Oh no. Can I, like, bounce off the scenery or something? Oh, so you do actually get a little bit of a height bonus when you skid jump, but it just did not tell me that. And it's not visually obvious that that's what's happening, but as with previous Crash games, I'm mashing circle, and on the fourth bounce, he did a belly flop. That is not good. It is really unresponsive with the ground pound. Oh no. I do not trust the jumping in this game to be reliable enough for this. And I'm just going to crawl. I'm not going to skid. It just doesn't feel like reliable or responsive enough, this game, to be doing this kind of stuff. Yeah, we do a fortnightly podcast via Patreon. See, look at those lighting effects. That's PS2 for you. 20 out of... Oh yeah, there's 3 nitros in here. So, I mean, hopefully they'll just blow up when I detonate them at the end. Yeah, you can ask us anything. Nothing's off limits. It's After Dark. We talk about... Oh, hello. That's the lizard from the title. We talk about politics, religion, sex, drugs, rock and roll. Oh, I've got triple mask form. It's just not really announced at all. Oh, and then that didn't break because my mask just my mask had gone. Wow, it really doesn't make much of a song and dance about triple mask form, does it? Now, in previous Crash games... Oh, yeah, see. Yes, okay. In previous Crash games, in the chasing levels, quite often the boulder or the whatever it is that you're running away from will destroy boxes for you if you miss any. Or some of them, anyway. So... you don't necessarily have to worry too much about a box that is missed. Just keep an eye on them in the back. Make sure that it is actually getting them. Oh, okay. Oh no, we've got nitros now. So probably I liked this level because I thought it was cool that you're being chased by a dragon, but actually... I'm not that sure about the execution, to be honest. As a grown man who knows some stuff about video games at this point, I don't quite know how I feel. Oops, that's on me. I might use my D-pad, that might help. I feel like he's sort of listing a little bit to the left and right when I'm just trying to go in one cardinal direction using my thumbstick, but that could just be my controller as much as anything else. Or me. But what I mean is, it might not be the game's fault. Okay, he didn't want to cross the bridge. I think there's just something about these corridors that seem a bit... big, you know? seem a bit broad. And you see like a little knight standing in the hallway, and he looks tiny by comparison. Oh, the Komodo Bros on the portrait in the background there. Undersquirrel says, what is this channel? I don't remember following. I'm enjoying it so far. I just don't remember why I came here in the first place. Well, welcome. Thank you for chatting and sticking with us, even though you have no idea what this is. You might have followed when a different person was hosting. That might be why you're confused. Because we have 4 hosts here. On Thursdays, 3 of us play games together. On a Monday, it's me. Quite often playing something semi-retro like this. Depends if you want to call PS2 retro. Sometimes I play PS1. Sometimes I play modern games. Tuesday is my colleague Ben, who plays wrestling games and Soulsborne games and a few things like that. Wednesdays, Ashton Matthews, who is young, and she plays millennial games that confuse and scare the rest of us. Or Gen Z, really. So you could have followed at any point. And Fridays, James Jenkins playing his tactical XComs and so on. It's a real mix. Not friend, just colleague. That's right.
Rattle and roll your Bandicoot butt.
We've been colleagues for many years now. Yeah, we've got a YouTube channel as well. Undersquirrel. Same name, Team TripleJump. We do like list videos and stuff. Oh, I remember this level, the Minecart level. And we can tilt it left and right. Just like Bugs Bunny. Oh, what do I do? Oh, does he? Okay, he just goes through it, that's fine. Oh, the yellow gem route. Oh. Okay, so fortunately you can just hold it. I thought it was just going to be like a... There we go. There are many hazards in this mine, Mr. Potter. Look out for them if you want to hold on to your coins. There are bonus gems hidden in this mine. Oh. I think I might be able to change tracks when it branches if I lean towards the track in question. Oh, well, that was fun. I enjoyed that. There's something about the composers here, the music that they produce, whether it's this or Haven or Bug's Life. There's something about the instruments that they use that, like, I don't know, I really like the... It has a kind of a weird, almost organic feeling. There's something quite tactile about the instruments that they use. I think it really like lends something to... I mean, again, I don't know if it's necessarily appropriate for Crash Bandicoot, but oh, Jesus. But that aside, it really adds a level of something. I don't know what it quite is, but they do really good stuff. Ah, he got me. Okay. Right, there we go. I'm a bit concerned now that there is going to be a massive difficulty spike later on. We'll see how we do. Is another massive rock going to drop down here? Yes, it is. Okay. Thought I'd just wait for that. I'm intrigued though as to what bosses will be. I guess it's probably just going to be all the bosses who were in the opening cutscene. But you know, it would have been nice to. It's been a while since we've seen like Koala Kong and you know Papu Papu. Would have been nice if they'd been brought back. I guess actually at the time it wasn't that long since we'd seen a lot of them because they were in, at least some of them were in Crash Team Racing, weren't they? Papu Papu was. I don't know if Koala Kong was, actually. It's hard to remember now because in CTR Nitro Fueled, every flipping character ever was in that game eventually, including a bunch of sort of conceptual characters that never even made it to the games. There was that moose, that hippo thing. I can't remember which way around it was, but like they originally did this concept art for a hippo or something called Speedy McHiplord or something. I don't know what it was called. And they 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then they basically used pretty much the same character and brought him into CTR Nitro Fueled, but turned him into a moose. But it was clearly like he had the same sort of silhouette. Well, I'm just glad that these guys aren't able to actually aim at me. Oh, it just ends quite abruptly. Oh, okay. Oh, the depth is quite hard to judge. Okay. Oh, I missed a whole bunch of boxes there. Did I miss a bonus stage? Oh, I wonder if I could maybe have changed tracks and it would have sent me off to get a load of boxes and then looped back round and rejoined up. I might give that one more go and just see what happens. Given that I'm currently on for 106%. Hello, game. Am I not allowed to go back? Or do I have to fight Crunch now? I know I will be allowed back eventually, but I think it's going to make me... It's going to make me fight Crunch.
Well. Looks like the Bandicoot's been busy collecting crystals. I warned you, Bandicoot.
Finally, I get to wrap my fingers around your puny orange neck.
There must be a lot of Harry Potter games, says Boring Loner. We should do every Harry Potter game ranked, shouldn't we? Well, I guess unfortunately it's got... Oh wow, this suddenly reminds me of... Oh man. Oh. I'm getting flashbacks here. So, can I whack him? Or is he hot and spicy? Oh no, that did damage to me. Okay. Do I hit the little grey balls? Is that what I'm supposed to be doing? Oh my god. Oh, what's happening? Trying. Is that it? We're creating projectiles and swinging them around the arena, and I've just got to hope that it eventually hits him. And also, he can hit me whenever he wants. Is that how this is working? Oh god. I don't have a lot of control here. Oh, okay, I just have to hit all three of them. Right. They don't have to actually roll into him. Okay. Well, I've got 11% health. I think it's unlikely that I'm gonna win this, but at least I know that... Oh, he's just coming straight for me, isn't he? When he's made them orange, am I allowed to still touch them? To turn them back, to turn them blue? Oh, you get a lot of momentum built up. Let's see, I want to find out if I can touch this orange one. Oh, I don't know. It runs out quite soon. Oh, well, he was able to, so maybe I can. Okay, where's the third one? Oh, they're on the mini-map. Didn't even notice that. Okay, he killed me. Oh man, this is going to be fun. Is that... Oh god. Is there not a button I can press that will just sort of... that will like change my speed or something? Allow me to stop on a dime? Such an exciting, dramatic and fast-paced battle, says Traveling Badger. Yeah, you're right. I'm having a lot of fun. Looks like I need to hit him about 3 times. Honestly, it feels like I might be better off just sort of standing still and waiting for the balls to kind of roll around to me. There we go. To be fair, there has never been a fast-paced Crash Bandicoot boss battle. No, not really. Not really. Possibly Engine in Crash 3 had some pacing to it. I guess, well, maybe not fast-paced. It felt a bit more action-packed though, but yeah. Wasn't there a level in this where you're in like a jeep and you're like driving through the safari? Rumble in the Jungle. No. God, he just comes right at me, doesn't he? Look at the way he's able to change direction. This is me holding the thumbstick in the opposite direction to try and just slow down for a minute. Oh, there it is. There's the last one. Oh, he's made it orange. What happens if it hits me? Oh, we'll never know. Oh, it does a bit of damage, so that's why he's trying to hit them, or that's why it matters if he hits them. Because I noticed before that he actually in the first round managed to hit both of them, and they were both his colour, and they didn't rain down on me like this. So it is just about him kind of getting extra projectiles. Wow, that was frustrating. Oh, but now we can sneak along suspended Nitro crates holding L2 while moving. Okay. Sure we can. To be fair, that's not a bad idea as a Crash mechanic, because, you know, by the time Crash 4 rolls around, I mean, I don't know why they've taken away his other abilities. I can't double jump. I can't... Sorry, 2/3 of triple jump.
Cortex! When are you and that super weapon of yours going to put an end to that interfering Bandicoot? You are beginning to test my patience! I'm working on it, Uka Uka. Listen, Crash, you may have outsmarted Rocco, but there are 3 more elemental masks where he came from. And just as luck would have it, they are all significantly more powerful. Ha! I have no doubt.
Thought they might be.
Elemental Wawa will make sure you never see the light of day.
Yeah, the water boy and I are gonna take you out. Ooh, I'm gonna rip you limb from limb.
Don't. Please don't. What was I saying? Yes, they've taken away some of his abilities that he already had. I can't jump. Does he do a little air guitar? He does, doesn't he? Yeah, you do jump slightly higher by doing the skid, but it's kind of weird. So they've taken a couple of things away. I mean, not that I expected him to have a bazooka or anything, but yeah. So they had to come up with some new abilities. And sneaking across Nitro crates is a fun one, I suppose. That's not a bad one. I remember Kadikarus talking about how bad the Nitro walking mechanics in this were. Oh, well, maybe I spoke too soon. They've definitely fixed the... there's definitely something about the loading screens here that are way better. I remember sitting on that loading screen with it going dum 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 for flipping ages as a kid. And it's either because we're emulating and maybe it's able to load quicker, or it's the version of the game that I'm using, because on the list of versions I was able to download, one of them was like version 2.0.1. So I don't know if they like re-released a better build of the game, like after it had been out for a year or something. Maybe that's it. Oh, see, that's what I wanted to do. Let me just try the next one. Yeah, see, there was a Nitro crate on it, so you can do that. So if we had the... here we go, like, look at this. That's what you can do. Oh! Oh, but is it just Nitro crates on there? And it doesn't loop around, so I wouldn't be gaining anything by going on that route. I thought if... Oh, see, I just missed one there. I guess they're just quicker when you're doing time trial, maybe. So, how did I miss? Oh, the yellow... Maybe down the yellow route, like that. But, when I've encountered... Yeah. Well, okay. It might just be because... It might be because we need the yellow gem, but, in previous levels where I've walked past like an unfilled-in gem platform, I've been able to get all the crates, which implies that gem routes in this game have their own box count. I don't know. Yeah, I definitely feel like there was a level called Jungle Rumble. This is it. And I think you're in like a jeep, and you're being chased by rhinos or something.
Bandicoot, you've got some nerve setting foot into my domain without an invitation. Don't talk back to me. I'll fix that attitude problem of yours.
Right. It's Jack. It's Jack Nicholson. You can handle the truth. We started there with chimp.mp3. That was good. It's a good start. What in the name of holy crap is that? Looks like Nasha. What the hell is this? Well, it's dead now. I'm destroying the native wildlife. It was throwing a spear, to be fair, so it's not wildlife. It's worse. It's a sentient member of a civilization. It's so floaty and weird. Like, by the time you even reach the person that you're doing, you've already stopped spinning. It's very strange. And the skidding seems very odd. Is it a relative of Sonic? It could be. It has Sonic's eyes. Oops. Okay, we've got a Nitro crate there. So, at some point there's probably going to be a bridge, and I can tiptoe like this. Of course I can. I'm just pressing circle. I'm pressing it. It takes numerous jumps before you're able to do the slam. Ooh. Okay. Can we go up here? No. Right. It's going well. I'm gaining lives. I'm net gaining lives, which is good. It sounds like I might need them later on. Little fact, the loading screen on the GameCube version of this game doesn't have that weird noise and crash falling down. Instead, it was that loading font on a black screen. Oh, well, there you go. Bewhip. It's a little fact from Jordan there. Thank you, Jordan. We've all learned something today, unless you had a GameCube at the time and already knew that, in which case you've learned nothing. Oh, I wanted to destroy that box myself in case it had something in it, something special. Hello? Why does it take the camera in there? Why is that allowed? There's nothing to see. The voice you heard during that cutscene was R. Lee Ermey, the drill sergeant from Full Metal Jacket, and the voice of Army Men Commander from the Toy Story series. Oh, that's weird. See, I got the Army General drill sergeant kind you know, whatever the film that was that Jack Nicholson was in, where he says you can't handle the truth. I forget which one it is. But it was the other army general, the one from Full Metal Jacket. A Few Good Men. Yeah. And the voice of Army Men Commander from the Toy Story series. Oh yeah! You are an absolute disgrace. A good soldier never leaves a man behind. That guy just does... He just does Army Men. That's all he does. Right, I have a feeling... Yeah, okay, I was just going to say. I have a feeling I'm going to have to creep along some Nitro crates now. But that's fine. So... This is allowed. What happens if I... Oh, you have to keep moving. Okay. I was still holding L2. I did not let go of it. But if you stop moving... They go off. Well, now we know. At least we did it in a bonus level where dying doesn't cost you a life for some reason. Never has done. Oh! That did not make me bounce. I expected a bounce, and there wasn't a bounce for some reason. So yeah, there's the sort of ATV that we'll be driving in a bit. I think we get chased by rhinos or something. Oh. Yeah, no, that was on me. I was standing in the TNT box. I wonder if it is... I've not been counting my lives. I don't know if it is taking a life away from me for dying on a bonus. I wouldn't mind if it was. I always thought it was overly generous to let you have infinite goes at a bonus. Right. There we go. So, I need to creep across this Nitro bridge and not stop moving, not let go of L2. And I'm just going to sort of drop off the edge. Is that what's going to happen? Oh, that's not good. That... I don't like that at all. Okay. .37 out of 49. Oh, there we go. Oh, what? Was there a box way up at the top there? No. Okay. Now let's see if this mechanic is still accurate. Spinning when you're standing still will only affect the bottom box adjacent to you. Yes, that is still a thing. Whereas spinning while moving will destroy boxes 3, 4, 5. Two boxes high, I believe. 49 out of 49. We did it. God, the looping fruit noise. Okay, here we go. Oh, here they come. Oh wow, okay. So they're... Oh, that one has its tongue sticking out. They caught up with me because apparently if you press X, you can go faster. It didn't tell me that, but let's see that you can. Oh. Okay. Oh no, I missed one. Oh, they got it. Oh, the nitros. Oh, they've gone. Okay. I don't know if it's possible for me to drive into the wall. Oh, they're back. Oh no, and they got... I missed a box. Get me, guys. Catch up. Can I hit the wall? No. Right, where's this box? There it is. Officially in Crash 1, they were called boxes, not crates. It would say on the end of level screen, that's great, but you missed 125 boxes. But now it seems to be interchangeable. They're quite often referred to as specifically as crates in the certainly by the time Crash 4, It's About Time rolled around, and I'm sure before then they were being called crates as well. 136. Oh, I missed one flipping box somewhere. Oh man. Infuriating. Never mind. Pete, have you played Twinsanity? I think it's meant to be decent. I've heard that. I played the first level or two of it, and it was alright. It was pretty good. It still has this sort of vibe about it, though, in the sense that I don't know. There's Crash has gone through a sort of bell curve where it was like, no, an inverse bell curve really, where it started high. Admittedly, Crash 1 was really difficult, and oh no, I don't even like swimming in Crash 3, which is a good game. Crash started like really, really good, and then it's sort of around this era, and for a while, to me, it like dipped, and then it started to come back up again, and I think that's as much about the aesthetics as anything else. Like, I think Crash 1, 2, and 3 and Crash Team Racing looked really good because the PS1 just lent itself towards that kind of cartoony style. Then you enter this world where everyone's trying out all this new technology with glowing effects and like, you know, like look at that crystal. Can I make it cycle around? Look at these crystals. Like, they look good. I'm not saying they don't look good in terms of they're all shiny and glowy and cool, but then you look at this and the lighting just looks weird because some stuff is like shaded in a photorealistic way and some stuff isn't. Some of it's cartoony, some of it's not, and you know, there's like not quite a consistency there, and it's why even as recently as the Insane Trilogy, things haven't aged well. The Insane Trilogy does not look good now, I would say. Probably even at the time you could have argued that it didn't look good the way that they'd gone about it, again because of the lighting, the shading, that kind of thing. Like, you know, there's a lot. It left a lot to be desired. Certainly by now, it's not aged well, and I think, yeah, arguably, there were people saying at the time that it wasn't the way they should have done it. And I didn't really realise at the time, but I think they were right to say so. Have I missed like crates at the bottom or anything? But Crash 4, I think, is a beautiful game. I love the style. It just looks once again now like an actual, like he's a cartoon character, you know, and they know where to do the fancy stuff with lighting and shading and textures and stuff, and where not to, and that is a really, really important thing to be aware of. So certainly aesthetically, I think Crash, in the PS2 and PS3 eras and handheld, well, I don't know about the handheld games, I've not played any of them, but you know, around this time period, it was not in a good place. Now, that's not to say that something like Twinsanity doesn't play well and isn't written well. It might well be that, you know. And, you know, the older Crash games as well, they had to be a bit more claustrophobic because they couldn't make, like, big levels. But here, where they've got a bit more opportunity to just make things less claustrophobic, I think it doesn't actually work that well. I just feel like some of these corridors I'm walking through and some of these caves I'm swimming through here feel a bit empty. I felt it particularly in the lizard level, Wizards and Lizards or whatever it was called. Kind of, it just seemed a bit... You would see just a little knight standing in the middle of this giant hallway, and I don't know, it just seemed off. See, this looks pretty. Like, it's got its moments, but it also has its moments where it doesn't look good. Yikes, this thing is pretty scary. Okay. How are we doing? Yeah, I never liked the swimming levels, even in Crash 3. This feels very derivative as well, unfortunately. Like, a lot of the... Oh, hello? Really? Okay, sure. What? Oh. Okay. It's probably not supposed to look like this, the visual effect. Let me see if this will help. If I change the video plugin to OpenGL software, this might fix, or it might ruin everything, but it's alright, I can change it back. Oh, hang on, no. I nearly pressed the wrong thing there. Resume. Well, it's grainier. But we don't have the, we don't have the lines. I think this is probably slightly better. Oh, jeez. It's very grainy, isn't it? I almost prefer the scan lines. It might just be that the resolution is reset. In me changing the plugin. Oh yeah, it could well be that actually. So if I just, how do I do this? OpenGL. Oh, I don't have the option, that's why. Well, what if I do, no. Let's try this one. This might be just the same issue. Resume. Oh, okay. I can't tell if that's, I think that might be even more crisp than we started with in a... So there's meant to be a watery overlay, I think, that wasn't being rendered properly. Oh! And we'll see when we get into the sub whether we get the sort of scan lines again. Joe T or Joette 118, thank you very much for subscribing for 48 months. You guys are the best. Well, thank you very much. 48 months 5 Prime is a long time. Right, here we go. Okay, now we got the scan lines again. Oh no, it's getting worse. It is putting like textures and stuff. Okay, we'll go to the low res. So the thing is, there's different like renderers, and if I use OpenGL software, this is rendering it. Oh, okay, yeah. It's rendering it more accurately. But you can't upscale the resolution, which is why it suddenly looks like really low res. So it's doing the water effect that this level probably should have had all the way through, I presume.
Yeah. Happy 420 BBBB blazing my dude's Lord 16 dab. Seems this game got just a bit 66 meeting. There are some good jokes. Not great.
Okay. Very good.
Hi.
Yeah.
BBBBBBBB crash BBBBBB crystals BBBBB water BBBBBB scan lines BBBBBBB PS2 crash Bandicoot blaze it.
Blaze it. Blaze it, everyone. It's the sex number for... right. What? How was I supposed to get through that if I didn't have a mask? I just tanked right through a line of nitros there. That was weird. I saw some mines back here to the right as well. I really... Oh no. I really, really hope that I have got all of the crates in this level, because I don't like it and I don't want to have to do it again. Oh, that was it. Just some bonus mines there that could have killed me for absolutely no reward. Sure. Okay. I've got loads of nitro here. What do I do? Oh, can I drop bombs as well? Oh wow, okay. It didn't tell me that at any point. But I just looked at the design of this and I thought, yeah, I can probably drop something, can't I? Okay, good. Well, I've done all that. Unfortunately, I did it in the right order, because it would have been possible to destroy those nitros before the adjacent crates had been... Oh, Jesus Christ, okay. Oh, the little tiny fish ate my submarine. I didn't hear any of those jokes. Snoop's blazing was too loud. Why have all my levels gone weird? Turn Snoop down. There we go. Weird. Turn the game up a bit. Well, I've turned my desktop audio up a bit, which is the game and my alerts all in one. I'm pressing circle, which is the bomb button, and it's not doing it now. Oh, is it? Maybe X was the bomb button all along. So hang on, how do I have to blow this one up first, because that then makes these appear, so that I can then do that. Okay, and that's how I would have got through the So I would have got through that line of nitros, that horizontal line that I just tanked through before. Right, drop that down there. That blows this whole thing up. Please be the end. Crystal. Oh! I really don't like these, because you can't trigger them until you're... No, you can trigger them ahead of time. You just have to spot them first. Oh. Oh, for God's sake. Gotta do it all again. The jokes remind me, I got an ad on YouTube the other day that used Robot Lady's voice and it was jarring. I can't even remember what the ad was for. Oh, that is weird. Oh, have I got a checkpoint? Oh, no, I haven't. Okay, let's do that first. Oh, for goodness sake. Okay, your missiles get stopped by individual Wumpa Fruit, which is that's great. So we destroy that. And that. that fish still swimming around? No, it's not. So, put that on there. Then we have to slowly trigger all these mines. Kill the tiny little fisherman, or not fisherman, scuba diver, who is just completely enveloped by the size of the cave he's in. I'm just having to go really nervously because I can't really see what's coming. Oh, hell yeah. Don't go through the... There we go. Don't go through the exit until we've got that gem, because I will never, ever be coming back to this level. Thank God. Presumably it's not the last time we'll probably have to do a swimming level, but never mind.
Leave my levels alone!
Okay, sure. He even calls them levels, implying that this is all just a video game. Oh, Coco. Oh, she took Crash out. Okay. Oh wow, she's got a great spin attack. Oh, she can't even skid. She just does a tiny little kick. Oh, come on. And in Barbie month as well. Come on. Why is she so rubbish? And she can't crawl / sneak. Is that stalk gonna do anything, or... Oh yeah, it does a tiny peck. Right, so from what I can see, Coco doesn't have any special abilities. There's nothing she can do that Crash can't, but there are things that she can't do that Crash can. And by the looks of it, she just gets randomly assigned certain levels. I don't know if it's because this one is set in, well, I don't know, somewhere in the Far East, I guess China. And she did the Chinese levels in Crash 3, therefore, oh, we best send Coco. She seems maybe a bit quicker, and I think that's it. That's her only ability. Oh, what is that? But she's Coco, so she's better, says Lucy B. I mean, you're right. I play as Coco a lot when I'm playing Crash 4. But, yeah, they've made her a bit rubbish here. Clipped the stalk. Okay. Well, I have to say, I remembered this game being worse than it is. I thought this might be a case of Spyro: A Hero's Tale, which, I mean, in some ways was not as bad as this was, but was designed in a way that didn't lead me to want to continue playing it. Basically, it wasn't super stream friendly, I felt. Not playing it blind anyway. Whereas this, although I am playing it without any idea of what to expect, I do feel like, you know, you sort of take it as it comes, this game. You play it one level at a time. They're all... Oh, come on! I did jump there, but not in the right way, apparently. Oh, I've seen if I could jump onto the lip. Yeah, you take it as it comes. You just all the levels are linear corridors. Whoops. I mean, alright, there's one or two branching paths, but... Oh, for God's sake. Oh my god, she just does a dead man's float. She has simply drowned to death. There's no comic mild peril aspect to it at all. She's just dead in a swimming pool. That guy appears to be vanishing when I get close to him. Is he... I thought that it was just multiple versions of the same enemy type, but I think we're actually sort of chasing that guy specifically through this level. I don't know, I did just spin him there though. Right. Jump. Bounce. Yeah, not easy to do from above. Okay. Look out, that koi will eat you, just like koi do. I can't tell if she's got a... She has got a... I was about to jokingly say, can't tell if she's got a ground pound that is just not registering when I press it, or if, you know, she's not got one at all. And I honestly assumed that she didn't have one, but I was just sort of jokingly saying, maybe she does have one and it's just not registering my circle input. But no, it wasn't registering my circle input, which is... Ooh. Okay. So if I do that... Oh, for God's sake. Why did that hit me when it fell down? Rubbish. Oh, no. But she's really small, isn't... Oh, no. Oh, well, I can't... Oh, I didn't mean to do that, to be fair. That was just me being silly. She's very small compared to the crates, it feels like. She doesn't feel like she's quite in the right scale. Like, when you think how big Crash is compared to the crates, how big Crash is compared to Coco in the warp room, and then how big she is compared to the crates in the levels. It all seems a bit off. Oh. Oh, wow, okay, I actually bounced on that fish. Okay, if I do a spin here, am I going to just detonate all the crates around me? No, okay. Oh, for God's sake! Trying to, like, get up close to people and spin them is... It's kind of weird. That you don't have a lot of range, and so you're like moving towards people spinning, and by the time you actually get close enough, your spinning animation has stopped. And then you try and edge closer to them because you're like, well, my spin didn't land just now, so I must not be close enough. And then you're already too close, and before the spin has even started, then you take damage. It's very weird. Uh-oh. Even though this is obviously a different game to all the other ones I've played, I kind of feel like some of my Crash knowledge is coming in handy when I'm finding myself in difficult situations. Either difficult situations that the game has specifically designed to be difficult, or sometimes oh, that's real fire, okay. Or sometimes situations where it's just poor design on the part of the developers. I'm having to just Crash Bandicoot Pro my way out of things. I'm hoping I didn't miss a box there. I know it said that there were like still... Oh, this is bouncy. It said there were still about 3 boxes left or something on the bonus, but I think they were all Nitros. Okay, so the fire does just stop. Oh. See, there, I like spun as I went towards him, but it didn't get him. I was just lucky not to take a hit, really. Is there anything over to the left here? Can I safely jump back? I don't really remember where the platform was. Oh, well I did, but overshot. Steven says, oh hang on, I just remembered actually, we can turn our renderer back now, which would be good. It can look sort of weirdly sharp. I mean, maybe that's partly why I think the game looks a little too pristine and polished and weirdly shaded, is because of the resolution I've set, but there we go. Yeah, I suppose it does slightly over sharpen stuff, doesn't it? But I've seen this game played on a PS2 and I know it's still the same overall as an issue. It's just, you know, yeah, this is making a difference, perhaps over accentuating some of the issues that were already present. Stephen asked, was there a particular reason why you chose to stream this game, TP? I don't know, it's a game that, like, I thought it would be entertaining to play, for one thing. Oh, it was, like, weirdly counting up there. Oh, look. Oh, that was good. I thought there was one box left, and I was like, oh, where could that be? Oh, that was lucky there. Glad they went back. It's a game I've, like, thought about streaming before. It seems like it might be a funny, kind of silly thing to play, because I know that it's a bit wonky. And then also at the same time, as I said, I'm streaming and I'm playing Crash 4, It's About Time, just on PS5 at the moment. I've played it before, obviously, but I just sort of felt like I wanted to play something this weekend that I knew. Bit of a palate cleanser after Star Wars. Oh my god, what now? We're destroying pirate ships? What was happening? Wait, what? Okay, I hold X. Do I not have a rat-a-tat-tat gun? No, I have to just hold X on everything. Very Traveller's Tales, this. 69. Nice. The box is 12. This is weird. I don't like this level at all. But yeah, so I'm playing the new real Crash 4 in my own time. So I just thought, hey, why not play the old bad Crash 4. Okay, let me get some boxes. Can't lock onto them, so I have just got to fly up to each of them and design, this vehicle and the layout of the level. This does not work at all, I would say. But hey, we did it. Oh my god, it looks so weird. So yeah, just a kind of a laid back, fun, silly game to play. Just like Worst Games Ever Alumni Bug Riders. It was a bit like that, wasn't it, Justin? Yeah.
They're gonna have to hang you out to dry when I get through with you.
They're gonna have to hang me out to dry when he's through with me. The water mask. I don't... Oh, okay. I suppose we are in the water mask's home world, as it were, so maybe it stands to reason that there are going to be some swimming levels, but I sure as heck hope this is the last one. Let me switch to this thing. We'll go low res again. There we go. Started in the submarine as well. I don't know if that means we're going to be in the submarine for the whole time or what. Oh, can that kill me? Or is it in the foreground? No, it can kill me. Oh! Oh, so twitchy. Oh, the flipping hidden mine. And it takes that long to turn around and get out the way. Okay. What got me there? The tiny little lionfish? Can I actually just get past the... Oh, I was trying to just set the fuse going on that, but I guess they just blow up when you're in the submarine. Okay. I wonder if I can get past the mines underneath them if I go quick enough. Feels a bit too soon, says Praying Ocelot. Yeah, it's something that I never liked in certainly in Crash 3. I guess it made a bit more sense in Crash 1, but Crash 3 and Crash 2 did it as well, as actually. Was when you had more than one of the same level type in a world. I didn't think there was ever any need for that. Crash 3 mostly spread them around a little bit, but in I think Dingo Dial or Engine's world, there were two like tomb levels, Egyptian levels. Yeah, I think it happened once or twice that you doubled up on level types, which yeah, I never really liked. And Crash 2 did it a lot. That's a lot of people's favourite game of the original trilogy is Crash 2, and for me, it's my least favourite. And that's even accounting for the fact that Crash 1 is, you know, it's quite bare bones, it's very difficult, it lacks some of the character, and I don't know if it lacks character, but it lacks kind of, you know, they were limited what they could do with cutscenes and dialogue and things like that. You know, it's definitely got all of its flaws and it shows its age, but it does mostly mix up the level types as it goes. There were a couple of moments where you did some ruins levels pretty much back to back, I think, but mostly mixed it up. Whereas Crash 2, I felt there was an awful lot of. It felt like there was a lot of. Well, it felt like they were not necessarily that they were repeated too often close together, but that there weren't enough level types generally across the game. I felt like the B levels came around a lot. Maybe they didn't, but my memory of it is that there were a lot of the B levels, a lot of the snow levels. I wasn't a huge fan of the kind of the USP as well, which was one of the USPs, which was the jetpack levels. Wasn't a huge fan of the jetpack. I thought it was fine, but didn't love it. Oh, are we gonna... Oh, hey, I like that. That's actually pretty interesting. I did not expect that. Hey, hats off to him. Look, like I say, I will point out the things that I think are good, and I think that is good. I mean, it's not the first time, even in this game, where you've obviously got in and out of a vehicle, but I'm so used to... oh, okay, now we're just doing the sewer levels, are we, from Crash 2? There are a lot of those as well, sewer levels in Crash 2. Oh, this is not going to turn off, is it? This electricity. I do just have to nail the bounce, okay? Good. This is going to go very well. If our very first introduction to the spicy water hazard involves a tricky jump, then it's surely only going to get harder from here. But yeah, it's not the first time we've got in and out of a vehicle in a crash level, but I'm so used to the water levels just being water levels. Okay. Oh, I'm only just making that I'm holding X as I go. Oh my god, how do I hit that? Do I have to spin jump? Slide jump, I mean. How do I slide jump on a tiny platform like this without falling in? Did I have to bounce off the crate and then up and hit the life? Oh my god. I wonder if at some point in this playthrough we're going to have to bring out the cheater Austins. We've not been doing that so far. In fact, I will just do a save state in the interest of if the game crashes, but I'm not going to use it to cheat. Okay. No, I just can't... Other than sliding on that tiny platform... Let me do some practice. Can I do a really short slide? If I press jump immediately. Yeah, seemingly. Oh, I don't know. It's about the length of the platform, though. It's not that short. I overshot that time. I have 42 chances. Yeah, okay. Remember when we got out the submarine and I said I like that? Suddenly I don't like it anymore. I want to go back into the submarine. This seems very unfair. Can I not, like, what do I can't turn the electricity off or anything. It's not. We're just here. How do I get that life crate? If I crouch jump, does that... Oh, it does, it does. It looks like, you know, like in a normal good crash game, you can do a high jump from... It just doesn't look that much higher, you know, but it apparently is. So I might be able to get that thing now. I still have to make the jump in the first place to get across there, which is not that easy. Oh no, I've left the crate behind. Oh, okay. So... Oh, you are kidding. What? What am I... How? How? What? Hello? I'm touching it as well as I go. Madness. And I almost certainly can't jump on the scenery over on the left. No, I can't. Maybe later in the game I unlock an even higher jump or a bazooka. Anyone know? And remember, if you get a bazooka in this game like you do in Crash 3, it wouldn't surprise me. It seems like exactly the kind of thing they would just lift directly. Aren't you meant to use that first crate for height and then spin jump into it? I don't know if I am. I tried that to begin with, but my 9-year-old son is a Crash expert and he's stumped this praying ocelot. I consider myself to be something of a Crash expert, and I am lost here. I'm going to try bouncing off the crate, but that seems like suddenly a very tricky set of inputs to have to do that this game has not asked of you at any point up until now. It wouldn't be difficult at all in Crash 3 or Crash 4, the new Crash 4. Oh no, it's definitely not bounce off there. You get even less height than from doing a spin jump there. You also get a double jump, 2/3 of a triple jump after a boss fight, says Stephen. Okay, well maybe we just have to come back for that box. Do it another time, which seems strange. I'm actually something of a crash expert myself. Yeah. It's definitely not bounce off that box. It just can't be reached at the moment. So I'm assuming they're just expecting us to come back once we've got a new jump ability. Hey guys. Oh, steady now. Well, it seems strange to me that they would lock the new jump behind boss, 2 or 3, when boss 1 gave us the ability to creep along a Nitro bridge, which we've only done once in a bonus level, and that's it. They gave us a new ability and we've not learnt about it at all. I expected it to be all over the first level after we'd... Okay, I mean, to be fair, I moved as I did that, so I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, I expected the first level to be, like, teaching us the Nitro crawl. But no, it didn't. This seems like a massive difficulty spike. I mean, I'm managing it all right, but imagine being a child. Probably why I don't remember this level, because me and my friend never got to it, or if we did, this was probably as far as we ever got. I think I spun a fruit into that enemy and it killed him, which again I like as an idea. That's a fun little detail, but oh, okay. Thought there'd be a flaw. There wasn't. Sure, alright. Oh, that is a... Then I saw the water and thought the water was a blue floor and that the platform was a dark pit, but no, I got it wrong. It seems a bit unfair to be making me just do leaps of faith and adjust at the very last second. I mean... Okay, here we go. I'm having to just, like, look over and around my microphone, which is a bit annoying. But... Oh, I just overshot that. That's me. That's a user error. This is the Metroid of Crash games. This is preying us a lot. Yeah, we've got to come back. It's just like Jedi Survivor. I've got to come back when I learn how to do a 2/3. Oh, 2/3 of a triple jump. Okay, so I don't want to set any of these TNTs off, do I? Because they will chain reaction and blow up the bridge. Ooh, okay. Oh, and I can't even... This is such a strange thing to do. I was definitely sneaking, then I saw the animation. But this is a very weird thing to do. Has Crash ever done that? Has it ever... They lock things behind coloured gem platforms that you then have to come back and, you know, that encourages going back and replaying old levels. But I think it's pretty rare that they ever had you not be able to reach certain boxes without well, I don't know. It did happen a couple of times, but that just seems like a strange tease to have done that. Right. Let's get a good run up on the sneak. There we go. He's really enjoying himself. Right, and this is going to set off the TNT. Oh, okay. If those drop on your head, they break. That's good. I don't think they did that in the original, in the earlier games. Oh man. Okay. So yeah, we've got some super jump crates just in a bonus round. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Maybe in the main level you would get crates that were difficult to reach or impossible to reach without an ability, but I don't think they ever did it. Can I spin? I don't know. I think I did spin a fruit into a guy earlier, but I don't know why I'm getting all these crates because I'm not going to get the gem at the end. But force of habit, I suppose. Can I go in that water? Yes. Right. Boom. Look, just the ones that I couldn't jump to. That's it. There were 2 in the bonus and 1 in the main level. Why? And that's the final level of this warp room. And if I now defeat this water mask and it gives me the ability to jump higher, I'll be very frustrated. Although thinking about it, if they're going to be theming the abilities towards the mask in question, which they're not necessarily doing, because the first one, the Earth mask, has allowed me to walk over Nitro. But if they did that, which would be a sensible thing to do, then presumably it would be the air mask that will give me a jump upgrade.
Get over here, you little orange sponge!
Because we're gonna wring you out.
Okay, good. So am I going to get the ability to swim now? That would be nice. To be honest, I do just hope that... What on earth? I do just hope they give me the jump now, because then at least in future levels I'm not going to be encountering okay, seems doable. Oh, what now? Duck. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I hope I get the jump ability soon. Okay, never mind. Going too quick there. Oh, the platform sinks, so you can't necessarily reach. If you get it when it's at its lowest point, like you can skid jump it actually. It's fine. Oh, what does that do? I guess if I'm jumping over the bubbles when they... Oh no. Yeah, I'm going too quick at the beginning. Oh, that's so silly. I guess it's just meant to be a mechanic of the boss fight, but if the platform sinks too low, unless you're doing a slide jump, you can't make it. Because you're starting too low down. Okay, that one seemed a bit unfair. I was jumping over it, but fine. Okay. What I'll do is, I'm trying to jump them while I'm jumping, if that makes sense, but maybe I'm safer doing that. Possibly, I don't know actually. I don't know what's the best thing. Oh no. Wow, he really started shooting that sooner than I expected. This is where all my lives go. No, it was sinking and I jumped and I'm not going to make it, so... Right. So, jump over the thing. Okay. Oh, I don't like it. Duck. bit more steadily this time. Right, now let's find out what these bubbles do. If they hit me, that is. Oh, okay. Just gonna do the same over and over again. I hated this boss fight, says Steven. The jumping was so frustrating. The timing is pretty tight. Sort of combined with the fact that there's an optimum time at which you have to jump from these platforms. Well, I was definitely jumping over that. That was hit detection entirely. Yeah, if these platforms didn't sync and it was just a case of, hey, if you jump from one platform to the next, you will make it, then that would be okay. But it's not even a guarantee that if you jump from one platform to another. Oh, that's what's happening. He's destroying... I don't know if he's just destroying one at a time from the back to the front. Or... Oh no, they just fall. He's not destroying them, they do just eventually drop. That's new information. Clearly I've started trying to play it a bit more conservatively. And I'm lingering so long on the platforms that they're sinking. Wow, okay, this suddenly got even harder. Without me even knowing. Right, there we go. I'm gonna have to start doing that, I think. The problem was, I'm trying to like slide jump over the top of them like that as they're coming. But if you slide jump a bit too keenly, then you end up sliding into the thing as it's coming towards you. Have I got him? To jump twice as high, press X to jump and then press X again at the top of the jump. Wow, okay, that was a really big jump he just did there. Well, if you think I'm going back and playing that swimming level again just to get those 3 boxes, you've got another thing coming. It's not happening. Not right now, anyway.
You are making a mockery of me in front of my minions.
True.
Not only have you defeated the elemental masks, but you are still collecting those worthless crystals. Well, you've gotten this far, and this is as far as you're gonna get. Pyro, the fire elemental, will see to that.
Of course he's called Pyro.
Oh, Cortex, come on. I don't need some flaming mask to help me. I can take Crash on by myself.
You've had 2 chances already.
Crunch, you will do as I say. You and Pyro will vanquish Crash and his annoying friends.
His annoying sister. No, we love Coco. We stan, as they say. How do I save? Coco? Hello? I don't even know how to flip and save the game. What? In Warped, you just walk up to the screen. Oh, okay. See, that's what you do here as well. Oh, it's been auto-saving by the looks of it. See you later, Brozovic. Thanks for being here. So, walk room 3 of 4. 5. Okay. Now we can do that, which seems excessive, to be honest. The gauntlet. Is this at the medieval level?
I realize my brethren have had some trouble with you, my little orange friend, but I'm not quite sure why. Is it getting hot in here? Is it safe to be wearing that fur? It looks flammable!
That sounded a bit like Mark Hamill towards the end there. Anyone want to look up who voices Pyro? Don't think it sounded like him so much at the beginning, so I'd have to listen again before I bet any money on it. But once he got overexcited, I think it is, says Lucy B. I heard the Joker there, says Justin Weidman. That did sound like Mark Hamill. Yeah, it could be. Well, I really like now that I can double jump. Okay, the whole time I was bouncing down there, I was mashing circle to a body slam and it didn't work, so... Oh, okay, sure. What are those axes doing? Oh, very strange. They just drop and then pull up again. Traveler's Tales loved this wavy heat effect. They did a lot of this in Haven. I do keep feeling like I'm playing a Haven game in a way. The music, the effects, some of the level types. Do I now? I mean, I could switch back to the good renderer, but it's possible that when we encounter the heat effect, that it's gonna go weird. Let's see what it looks like. Might just not do it. Okay, yeah, it just doesn't do it, which is fine. I know we lose a bit of the atmosphere, but it just looks nice and crisp, doesn't it? I'm all for, you know, playing video games in their original sort of fidelity and not unnecessarily like upscaling and stuff. Like generally, I would play something probably in its kind of more in its oh yikes. Okay, hello. Oh god, that was scary. I couldn't see any of that. Yeah, if I was just playing casually, I would probably want to play in a kind of a true sense, but when streaming, it's nice just to have the sharpest quality as possible. Hello? Okay. Oh, that clipped me. It got me. It is him! It's Mark Hamill. We all knew it. We heard him. Flammable! Hey, I've got a question. Because I think he voiced Skeletor or someone in the new Masters of the Universe like sequel series that is on Netflix, right? Because I saw the trailer for that. It's old. I think it came out a couple of years ago. I'm not saying it's a new thing, but it's new compared to the old one. But I was scrolling through Netflix the other day and I saw that and I was like, oh, I've never seen that. I've not watched it, and I thought about watching it. But actually, I've only seen like a few random episodes of the old, like the 80s show, which is technically a sequel to. I think it's Mark Hamill. We might be off topic here. It might not be him, but it sounded a lot like him. And as we've just proven, we all know Mark Hamill when we hear him. But my question is, does anyone know, and I know I could just Google this, but I've not got around to it, and I wondered if anyone knows off the top of their head. Does anyone know if there is if one of the streaming services will allow me to watch the old Masters of the Universe, the 1980s cartoon? Because Netflix, who seemingly have the rights to Motu, it doesn't appear to be on Netflix, or not on UK Netflix anyway. I'm pretty sure they got the rights, because didn't they just recently cancel like a live-action movie version that they were going to do? So seemingly they own it at the moment, but it is him as Skeletor, says Traveling Badger. Yeah, I thought it was. It looked really good as well. It just has that proper Saturday morning vibe that I really... It's one of my favourite kind of styles, particularly in the past few years. You know, I've been enjoying... Whoa, here we go. I've been enjoying watching a lot of like Beast Wars and Reboot and stuff like that. The original Reboot animated TV show. I've been watching all sorts of stuff like that in the past couple of years, and I'm sure I would really like this Masters of the Universe series, but I'm like, I would quite like to watch the old one first so that I can get a bit of context as to what's going on. I'm sure it's not, you know, super complex lore or anything, but 3, 4, 5. Yeah, anyone know if you can watch that anywhere? The old one? It's probably all on YouTube. If it's not available to stream anywhere, then someone's probably just stuck it all on. Oh, flip me! I overshot. Agamemnon says, yeah, low resolution sometimes react a bit wonky with stream compression. That's it. You know, I just go sharp as possible. This is like 6 times up-resed, apparently, according to the emulator. Which, yeah, is not true to its original form. And as I was saying earlier, it probably accentuates some of the issues that I've been complaining about. You know, saying... oh, you know, it all looks a bit sort of overly pristine in places, and I don't like the way they've shaded this and that. But, yeah, sometimes it's just the best way to stream, in my opinion. Do all this again now. 2, 3, 4, 5. He-Man is the 2, 3, 4, 5. I did feel weird when I was 2, 3, 4, 5. When I was calling it Masters of the Universe, I was like, why is that? I was like, I know that is what it is, but why does that feel like it's not it? And I just kept saying it anyway. It's because it's called He-Man, isn't it? Yeah, but that's the subtitle. There's more than one He-Man series. Yeah, I'm aware, yeah. But it's the one from the 1980s. And that's the one I'm hoping to find somewhere. Because that is apparently what the Netflix animated show is a direct sequel to. Ooh, I jumped back there because the box count is not up, but I assume it's just Nitro's. The movie was called Masters of the Universe, right? Okay, He-Man, Masters of the Universe. Just shows that, you know, I don't. This is my point. I don't really. I'm not up on it as much as I should be. Oh God, it's like the way of the flipping warrior. Oh, warrior. And I want to watch this show, but I clearly don't know as much about it as I should. So that is why I'm hoping to find it somewhere. But I might just have to see if someone's uploaded it to YouTube. You know, wow, that's interesting. I really don't like pirating visual media. I don't pirate music either. In fact, I don't pirate anything thinking about it, because what else is there? There's games, and I don't pirate games either. Pretty much the only thing that I technically breach copyright on at times is, well, technically, video game emulation is piracy if you don't own a copy of the game, but almost always I am actually playing a game that I own, or that we have a copy of at the office, so that's normally fine. But other than that, the only thing that I break copyright laws on are like really old books from like the 1950s, which you just can't get hold of anymore. Sometimes you can, and I own a bunch of really old. Look at this. This is such a Peter Austin thing. Hang on. This isn't that old looking actually, but I don't even want to necessarily reveal what it's called, but hang on. Okay, yeah, I'll do it like this. Hang on. There we go. In fact, this isn't the best example, but you know, I've got like this really old. Hang on, does it have a date in there? I think this has a little inscription in the front. It's so brown. I mean, look, girl, look how brown you are. Am I right? It's not. You can't really tell so much, but what was I saying? So yeah, I do buy them legit when I can, but that's about the only thing that I will illegally. Oh, you know, it's technically a breach of copyright law if you like try and find online versions of these things on like archive.org. Oh, he turned me into a bat. but particularly visual media. I like to support creators, you know. And hey, everyone gets to make, you know, you can make your own decisions on how you consume your media and whether you feel like, hey, I don't want to pay money to a streaming service. But to me, I just feel like, well, I really enjoy whatever it is, such and such a show, and I want to make sure that, like, I'm doing my part to encourage the creators to make more of this thing. You know, I've had too many games and shows and things that I really like be cancelled, or to justify not paying for something that I like. So ideally, I'd quite like to find a genuine streamable version of He-Man, but if I can't, then that's the only time when I tend to perhaps be a little bit cheeky. Okay, here we go. Oh, hang on, I see ya. Oh, now, hang on. Okay, hopefully. Where's the switch crate? Oh, it's up there. Oh no. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna have to death abuse here, I think. I have some copies of classic novels dating back to the 1950s and 60s. I like them. So that's forgotten media. Yeah. Most of mine are downstairs. That was the only one I had to hand. An old-ish book. I think that's like 1920s or something. But I've got some really old, like, knackered, mouldy books downstairs, which, you know, I really like. First season of 80s He-Man has been uploaded to YouTube. 64 episodes? Christ. That's just the first season? I guess they're not super long, are they? Like, relative to what you get today. Okay, so we turn the switch on first, and we destroy that, and then there's a Nitro crate as well. Okay. Worth it. Far less BS crates in this game than there are in many other Crash games, especially Crash 4. The number of times, like, you know, as I said earlier, I modestly, of course, very modestly, consider myself to be a bit of a Crash pro. I'm not super pro. I know people who are way better than me, people who have 100%ed Crash 4 for a start, which I have not done. But yeah, I consider myself to be pretty good at Crash Bandicoot. And I'm getting to the end of levels in Crash 4, and I'm missing boxes most of the time. But that, I think, is because Crash 4, I think they've been a bit cheap in places. Or not cheap, but like, they've been really cheeky with where they've... Oh my god, there's a tuk-tuk. Where they've hidden some of their boxes, like just behind scenery that you just physically cannot see. What? Oh, sorry, I thought it was in the background there. I just got really confused where I was. She's so small. There's only 2 series of 80s He-Man, so 130 episodes in total. Okay. Well, at least Series 1 is on YouTube. I can have a look at that, and if it's... Because I get that it's not going to be as thrilling and high budget as Oh. There's a lot of modern animation. I know what to expect. I mean, I've seen a few episodes anyway. I've seen some of the older ones, and I know it's there's a lot of just looping backgrounds and reused shots and stuff, which is fine. But yeah, if there's an awful lot of it, and I'm not thoroughly enjoying it, then I might just take to Google somewhere, find out what the broad strokes are, and then I'm sure I'm not going to be missing much if I watch the Netflix version. But yeah, like Crash 4 will hide a crate like behind that barrel or something. I can't even get in there actually into that background, but or worse, I mean it puts it in really stupid places at times. I've noticed that we're in one of the Chinese themed levels again. Is that just Coco's thing? They've really not. They've done Coco a disservice here, I think, in this game. It's not that good. Uh-oh. Okay. Don't hit the TNT because there's not time. There might have been just enough time, but okay. And then we hope that the nitros are all that remains. Both seasons on YouTube. Ah, well, excellent. I'll have to give that a try. Oh, okay. Oh my lord. Oh, do I have to? Can I go faster? I guess I probably can. Well, I must be able to because oh. Okay, it's old Crash rules, which means I can't go back to the bonus level, but it might mean that I don't get to keep any of the... Oops, I did not mean to do that. Oh yeah, see the old... Hang on, I'm going to restart the level because... oh, we've got to sit through a loading screen there. Yeah, the rules in most Crash games are that if you go to the bonus level, complete it and leave, but then die before you hit another checkpoint, you can't go back to the bonus level and get the crates. Which is strange, I've always thought. But if you die on the bonus level, you respawn and you can go back in and do it as many times as you like. Or if you hit a checkpoint and then die, then it keeps all the crates that you've got. Now that might not actually be the rule in this game. I don't really know how many crates I was supposed to have. So it might be that I had like 50, didn't I? Maybe, I mean, looking at it, maybe... Oh, that's really deceptive, that little bit of pavement in the background there, because she's so small that it looks like she's in the background, but she's not. Yeah, it might be that it was actually counting my... 50 is a lot, actually. I think it probably did keep the crate count from the... But look at the time. It's 25 past 7. I should have stopped ages ago. But I'm actually sort of morbidly having fun here. We'll finish this level then, and then we'll call it a day. But I'll definitely be finishing this game, I think. Perhaps not to 100%, but oh yeah, it definitely let me keep all the crates. I've unnecessarily backtracked here, but never mind. So I'm only supposed to have 18. Well, yeah, I only have 18 here, but then I had 50 something when I think that's the rule in old Crash games, is you go to the bonus, get the crates, and then die. You can't go back to the bonus, and it doesn't count the crates. I'm sure that's a thing. Could be wrong. sort of... Oh, no. Actually, it doesn't matter, does it? Because I'll just blow everything up. It's fine. I didn't do that before. Okay, good. So... one thing this game has definitely done differently in terms of bonus stages is it doesn't treat the bonus... Oh, okay, that seems unfair. So it's making me boost to get away from the wave. But if I go too fast, then I encounter the guys pulling the things. Is it destroying crates for me? I don't know. Yes, it is. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, normally the bonus stage platform, once you've exited it itself becomes a checkpoint. The bonus level crates still count after you die. Afterwards. You're right. It must do, because as I just said, it does become a checkpoint, which is not doing here. I'm actually spawning in at an old checkpoint box like this. But normally you would, if you died, you would suddenly spawn in here. I don't know. Maybe just I'm getting confused with. Obviously, there's the. The death routes, which if you reach them after dying and they're not there, I might just be sort of inflating those or something. So yeah, I think the wave is blowing up boxes for me, so it doesn't matter so much if I miss them. Ooh. Okay. I hear the exit portal somewhere. Oh, we've got a blue gem route there, which would take us to go and get the last 6 boxes, I guess. I don't know. Well, yeah, suddenly Uncharted, says Agamemnon. You're right. I think we'll call it there for now. But hey, I've sort of been weirdly enjoying this. Smokey and the Bandicoot, Eskimo Roll, Fahrenheit Frenzy. Oh, look at that preview window. He's in a jetpack. That's in a ball. And that is... I don't know. It could just be a normal level, but... Great. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I will save the game in-game, and I will do a save state as well. Save state done. So, that's it. Thank you, everyone. I've had a lovely time playing a... it's a bit of a wonky game, but it's got some charm to it. It's in that sense, it's a little bit like the PS1 Harry Potter games. I mean, they have more charm to them than this does, but the ratio is like, I don't know, it's different. But hey, I'm having a good time, so we'll play this to completion. I think we'll at least go through, get the crystals, fight the final boss, and roll credits there, and then maybe I'll try and get all the gems as well, which looks like it won't be too tricky in this game. In some Crash games it can be almost impossible to do that. Well, not almost impossible, but really, really difficult. That's where it's what separates the boys and girls from the men and women and others. But we'll have a go at that. I don't know about the time trials, because the controls are so wonky. I don't know if I can have the precision that is required for time trials, but I'll maybe give a couple of time trials a go and again see how generous the developers have been. They might have made it not so tricky to do, but yeah, we'll certainly play it to the first roll credits and perhaps further. I don't know. But that's it from me. I hope you've had a nice time, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your Mondays and the rest of your weeks, and I'll see you on Thursday for the joint stream. Blaze it. And in the meantime, you'll see other people right here on Twitch as well, doing their solo streams and stuff. So that's it. Have a lovely evening, and that's it. That's everything. Goodbye. Goodbye. That's it. That's the end.